Right, I think we are almost ready to go here, and it's going to be Thea Maweni that gets us underway. She takes a glance at the referee. Referee just dealing with watches. We are underway in the FA Youth Cup. Manchester United against Preston North End. It is going to be Preston that start with possession. Gino Obi chasing that down, gave Stowler a little bit of a hurry up there. Wilson, the captain. For those of you that haven't watched an awful lot of academy football that might just be tuning in for the FA Youth Cup, some of the stylistic things to keep an eye out for from this Manchester United side is their relentless running. They do not stop, and they will pressure you high up the field. They will choke the life out of you and make it really, really difficult to play. Now, I've got to watch those balls into the penalty area, though. That floated one eventually dealt with by Will Murdoch.
Yeah, Maweni is a tidy footballer. Scored one of the goals in the last round against Liverpool. And they look to get him on the ball, along with Max Wilson, also a scorer.
That's loose, and Manchester United now having to defend the edge of the penalty area. This is where they were brilliant against Liverpool in these kind of areas. That's well covered off by a retreating Victor Musa. Given away on the edge of the penalty area, though, and United trying to play out from the back, just finding themselves caught out. Lescott goes out to Maweni, floats one in towards the back post. Everybody leaves it alone. It's going to go behind for a goal kick. Get the nerves out the way early, Ben.
Well, in the days of goalkeepers being really good with their feet and playing out from the back, there are certain moments in games when I wish they wouldn't do it, and that's in the opening couple of minutes when they're under pressure, and in the final couple of minutes when they might be under pressure too. Just clear your lines and get your team up the pitch, and don't take any risks unnecessarily.
Well, Murdoch is very good with his feet, though. Nothing too much to worry about. That's a ball down the right-hand side for Victor Musa to chase, which is tidied up by Troy Tarry. Musa continues that run. Headed away by Reece Munro. And again, loves a physical battle, does Reece Munro. Very accomplished footballer as well. Edge of the penalty area now with Will Murdoch. Goes out to Dan Armour, gives it him back. Harry Amas is pushed up high, that ball out towards him. Can't reach its target.
Clayton Lescott is a big fella, isn't he?
Certainly is. Ball turned over in midfield. United just unable to gain any control in the early stages of this.
A bit like the goalkeeper then.
Well, it's one each. Away it goes from Stowell. Brought down by Tarry, given away though. That's where United are capable of really hurting you, turning the ball over in midfield like that, just being a little bit quicker to it than you anticipate that they're going to be.
I mean, you're talking about just before we kicked off the formation of Manchester United, and it could very easily go from a sort of 4-1-2-3 to a 4-3-3 to a 4-1-4-1. The idea behind it is that it's very, very fluid. You want to get the likes of Jack Fletcher and Jace Fitzgerald just a little bit more advanced than Jack's brother Tyler.
Both of those.
Ooh.
Fletcher twins, very capable of playing either of those positions. They will be pretty much interchangeable this evening. I think if you're going to put either of them slightly higher up the field, it would be Jack, as you say, Ben. Yeah, there's a couple of little challenges that have gone in over on that far side that the referee hasn't penalised. Has now decided to give the free kick to United on the centre spot, which they take quickly. Camerson comes back to Munro. Across to Dan Armour. Head up, wants that ball forward, can't find it, so recycles the ball. You can actually see, can't you, that Camerson comes and joins in. It's now 3 at the back for Manchester United, with Harry Amas up on the halfway line. Passed into traffic. Good turn from Mawene as he's looking for Tarry. This is going to need dealing with by Reece Monroe. Does very well up against the Argentinian Felipe Rodriguez Gentile. Or depending on which website that you wanted to read as you were doing your preparation for this one, Filipino.
I'll go with you, Liam.
We're going to go with Rodriguez Gentile. It could be either. Fletcher, helped out by Monroe. Camerson tries to dink one round the corner, but it's closed down, and this pressure from Preston is what's causing United some troubles at the minute. It is cleared away. Obi holds that up really well. Lovely bit of skill to get himself away as well. It's really clever from Chido Obi.
It was really good. What also was good was the way he shielded.
You mean
grabbing hold of his shirt?
The fistful of shirt that he had, yeah.
Hey, listen.
I did notice that.
If you can get away with it, it's a good piece of skill, though, that's for sure.
Only a foul if the officials say something. I think it was 6 and 2 threes, to be fair.
Most probably.
That's a good ball in behind from Chido Obi, and Manchester United are through. In on goal, chance here. Cross it comes. Can it be turned home? Off the line. Poked in. Manchester United lead inside 7 minutes, and it's Jack Fletcher that pokes home from close range. Beautiful ball in behind, though, from Chido Obi to set it up. As the ball came across, cleared off the line, but only as far as Fletcher, who pokes it home for a 1-0 lead.
Well, there's probably going to be some sort of inquest going on as to whether the ball had already gone over the line before. Maybe not. No, it hadn't, but the defender was really struggling. But it was a lovely reverse ball from Chido.
I don't think it's over.
Just as he went to clear it, he just slipped, didn't he? And it was I mean, he won't score an easier goal than that, Jack Fletcher, but the most important thing was that he was there, and it was a good ball as well from Scanlon. It's the first meaningful attack, isn't it? And they've scored from it.
Yeah. It's good work from all involved. Reverse pass from Chido Obi is lovely. James Scanlon gets himself into the area, gets it across. And looking at his reaction to the situation, he goes over to congratulate Jack Fletcher. So I don't think it's... I think we can give that one quite safely to the J variety of Fletcher.
No problem.
Mawene gets an early ball into the box, which is claimed out of the sky by Will Murdoch. Camerson. Fletcher. Well, Manchester United with numbers as well. Jack Fletcher. Into the box he goes. Stands one up, back post, real chance for James Scanlon, but it was just bending away from him, wasn't it? It's a right ball to the back post. It cut everybody out. James Scanlon just couldn't quite catch it.
No, it was a lovely little ball. Just angled too far ahead of Scanlon. It was the right ball. But Preston were a little bit at 6s and 7s there, because there were 3 Man United players all running through. And they didn't have a decent line for the offside. Need to be wary of that. Not in sync.
Look, let me tell you, if you ever commentate with Ben Thornley, the imaginary offside flag goes up the second that he thinks that there is a potential offside infringement. His flag definitely stayed down on that occasion. Looping ball, Chido Obi, just a little nudge.
Oh.
Referee notices the little nudge and then gives the free kick to Preston. Is there enough? I'm not sure there's enough in
Not at all. Well, the assistant on this side doesn't see anything in it, does he? And he had as good a view as anybody, certainly better than the referees.
Do you think assistants have stopped flagging now that they've got radios and they talk to each other, so that they don't, you know, they might tell the referee in the referee's ear over the radio that they think it's a foul, but they don't actually flag for it the way that they used to?
I think you've probably got a case. Although there was an incident in last night's first team game where the ball had gone about 35 yards over the touchline.
It was in M17, yeah. It had left this postcode.
And the assistant on the far side wasn't even within 10 yards of getting in line to be able to see it, which is really poor, I have to say. So no wonder they have to rely on radios.
I've no idea how that wasn't given for a corner, by the way. Those highlights are available for you on the Manchester United website and app if you'd like to go back and see what on earth me and Ben are talking about. 10 minutes played, United lead by a goal to nil. Jack Fletcher from close range, and that will be exactly the start that Adam Lawrence will have wanted for his under-18 side bet.
Yeah, I think what Preston, even though they're a goal down, what they've done quite well is they've sort of made a little box formation to stop Jack Fletcher from getting on the ball. And having said that, he's on the ball right now, but they're trying to make it very difficult for him to get on and start orchestrating from his position.
Ten minutes where we haven't seen the level of control that we normally see from Manchester United, but it is growing, their influence in the game. Chido Obi causing problems for the goalkeeper. Stowell no match for the challenge that came in from the United number 9, so behind it goes for a corner.
I mean, we said it in the opening minute. I'm not quite sure why goalkeepers feel the need to sort of demonstrate how skillful they can be. When that ball comes back, he just needs to send it and get his team up the field.
Here is the corner, delivered in brilliantly. Header comes down. It is in the back of the net. What a header that is from Reece Munro, the captain. Rises highest, gets a full forehead to it, tucks it in the corner, 2-0.
Right, if I was a teammate of that goalkeeper or the manager, I'd be absolutely furious, because that is a goal that it is virtually a free header. And fair play to Reece Munro. He gets up really well. He's not being particularly well marked. There's nobody on the post, but what the goalkeeper did there, that should be completely and utterly avoided. And United are now 2-0 up, and Preston, from having a fairly sort of decent start, and there's not really too much in the game, they've now got to score 3 goals against a team that don't lose any games. So it's incredibly difficult, but made more difficult by the decisions that some of these players make. And on this occasion, it's the goalkeeper. Just get it sent. They concede a corner and they concede a goal from it. Totally unnecessary.
United will happily take it. Gets up really well, Reece Munro. Admittedly, not an awful lot of pressure on him, and he directs the header into the bottom corner. Offside flag should go up here against Chido Obi. Goalkeeper's going to get there first, and this time does launch it away.
Well, the arm was wrong then, Liam. Unless the assistant was.
Yeah.
But he certainly looked just slightly advanced to me. But that will give Manchester United now the luxury of so early in the game being able to settle down and relax. And it's the anxiety will be with Preston, because they now know they've got to come from 2 goals down. And United haven't even really started playing the football we know they can play yet.
Free kick's been given United's way in that melee. Just give you an idea of how well Manchester United have gone in the under-18s Premier League North this season. They're currently second in the table, but that's only because Manchester City have played 2 games more than Manchester United have played. City 1 point ahead of United. 10 games played, 10 wins, 30 points, 46 goals scored in 10 games, and just 4 conceded in those 10 under-18s Premier League North games. They are the side to beat over the course of the beginning part of the season. Under-18s Premier League gets back underway in the not too distant future after the Christmas break. Plenty of those available for you to watch on MUTV as well. It's good work down the left-hand side for United. Harry Mass wriggles free of a couple, then finds Fletcher, who finds Fletcher. Tyler to Jack. Jack comes out to Camerson, then gets it back. Chido Obi drops off deep to pick this up, spreads it out to the right-hand side. It's good hold-up play from a centre-forward. He drops off, he manages to pick the ball up and turns it round the corner. Exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yeah. And he's too big a physique for any centre-forward to be able to start reaching round and trying to get in front of him. And what I like about him is that he lays it up and he spins in straight away. He knows 9 times out of 10 he's not going to get the ball back straight away, but it's just to take away and create that space in that number 10 role that can easily be filled by any one of these talented players.
There's even more talent on the bench for Manchester United. Adam Lawrence must have had a right old headache trying to pick a starting 11 for tonight. We were talking about it, weren't we, as we were getting ready for this commentary. You look at, 5 or 6 of those players on the Manchester United bench, and all of them had a shout to actually start the game.
And that's without the likes of the last round captain in Jacob Devaney being available. Obviously,
no Gabe Biancheri.
No Gabe Biancheri, a hat-trick hero. Obviously, Goodwill Konkonki was on the bench last night and looks like he'll stay there, but we know that he's eligible as well, so there's an abundance of talent, not just on the bench, but who's not even here. It just shows the depth of this superb under-18 squad.
Yeah, really excellent. Get the feeling from the officials early in this one that there's not going to be too much physical contact allowed before the free kicks get given. There was a couple in there during that passage of play, Ben, where I didn't think the free kick should have been given, and he decided to. But that's fine. If it's consistent across the piece, you can play to that, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
Fans in, keeping an eye on proceedings as well, as the throw-in comes from Preston. Harry Amass. Ball forward is cut out by Aidan Garrigan. Goes back to the goalkeeper, Lee Bao Stao. Troy Tarry. This is Peter Critchley. Given away, though, to Victor Musa. Now Tyler Fletcher. Just growing in confidence, aren't they, United? You can feel it, the control that they've got of the game, the possession that they have, the way they're moving their ball, Ben, is it's all just starting to click for them.
Yeah, it is. And Tyler Fletcher is now just sort of dropping into the gap between the two centre-backs, which means that they can go slightly wider, the full-backs can push on slightly further, and that gives Preston a bit of an issue.
And there is space to run into for players like Harry Amass. He has no backward step in him, Harry Amass. Any opportunity that he has to try and get that ball moving forward, he will take. On that occasion, misplaces the pass back towards halfway. Given away again by Preston, and then given away by Manchester United. This is Troy Tarry. Across it comes. That's a good challenge from Jace Fitzgerald. Just physical enough without overstepping the mark.
Yeah, he did quite well there, Troy Tarry. It was a good tackle after he initially lost the ball.
Tangle of legs again there between Fletcher and Malweni. Referee says nothing doing. Preston.
Well, they've got players, Preston, that are undoubtedly good players, very good players. And we're now nearly 20 minutes into the game, and the two central midfielders, Lescott and Stringfellow, I don't even think either of us have mentioned, other than Lescott's stature, and the captain, Max Wilson. I mean, he's playing in a slightly more advanced role, but maybe they need to sort of get him back a little bit, because I think he's wasted. The midfield.
Yeah, he was pulling the strings against Liverpool.
Yeah.
He was really important. But But as you say, in that slightly more advanced role, you don't get the benefit of that, as he's trying to make something happen for his side.
And especially when your side now is 2-0 down and it's Manchester United that are starting to just turn the screw a little bit.
Into second gear, Manchester United. Adam Lawrence patrolling that technical area on that far side. The left-hand bench is Manchester United. The right belongs to Preston this evening. The Lee Sports Village, where we're playing tonight, went through pretty extensive renovation work back in July of 2024. They fitted undersoil heating, so we ended up with all of that snow, didn't we, beginning of the year, and we managed to get a women's game on here. Snow was piled up outside, it's like a winter wonderland, and none of it indoors because of the work that was done on the pitch. Here come Manchester United with Armour. Finds Scanlon. Scanlon with space. Scanlon with options too. In it goes to Victor Musa, who leaves the ball behind, but James Scanlon just gobbling up the ground in front of him. Makes a really good pass into the penalty area. It can't be collected.
There's an example of the fluidity that Manchester United have got in those top 5 or 6 positions. Scanlon coming in off the right-hand side, running more sort of centre-left, and then he had options, and he has again. It's a good challenge.
Yeah, it's a brave block, that, because it's freezing at Lee tonight. That one will be a bit of a stinger. Good and brave. Certainly put some welly on it, didn't he, James Scanlon? Jace Fitzgerald can't quite get there, tidied up by Daniel Armour. Back it goes to Will Murdoch. And now Reece Munro, scorer of the second for Manchester United. Good headed finish from him when it just opens up for him. So he gladly continues his run and gets it into the penalty area to find Scanlon. Scanlon's effort, brilliant turn around the post from the goalkeeper. Needed to get 2 hands to it. Did really well to push it clear of the crowd.
Well, who needs somebody that can pass the ball 70 or 80 yards when you've got your centre-back that can pick up the ball on the edge of his own area and run virtually the full length of the field? It was quite incredible. Nobody got anywhere close to him either.
It's important to point out, again, if you've not seen an awful lot of the under-18s this season, he's played several different positions. Here comes the corner, whipped in again, flapped up by the goalkeeper. Munro lurking again. High boot.
Was it?
Reece Munro, that's what the referee is saying, and therefore the free kick goes Preston's way. To finish that thought process, he's played as a centre-half, but he's also played as a right full-back come right wing-back for Manchester United. Same as Godwill Kokonki, who has played both a left centre-half and left wing-back for Manchester United this season. There's so much running in the pair of them. Just incredible athletes with unbelievable energy. He sees an opportunity to go through the middle, and he takes it.
Yeah.
He's decided he's not going on another one for a minute or two.
And he did. It just opened up, and he just kept going. A really, really strong run.
And let me tell you, if I'd have made that run, I'd be asking for some oxygen on the sidelines. Be struggling somewhat, like an American footballer. Switch of play from Jace Fitzgerald finds Jaden Camerson, who in turn finds Jack Fletcher. Fletcher with a bit of skill, gets him to the byline, pulls it across. That's another decent block from Preston, and it needed to be as well because United were queuing up for it.
Great bit of skill. I think the defender was fully expecting him to come on the inside so he could have a shot or at least put another cross in towards the back post, but he didn't. He sold a little lollipop and he went on the outside. Did him all heads up, Jack Fletcher there.
They still call them lollipops?
I don't know.
Are they step-overs now?
Well, step-overs, whatever you want to call them.
I prefer the term lollipop.
OK.
It's because I'm old. Here comes Jack Fletcher. It's opened up for Jack Fletcher, up into the penalty area. Lovely check back. Can he get the shot away? Pokes it towards goal. Chido Obi, 3-0. It's as easy as that. Straight through the middle for Manchester United. Polished off by the centre forward. And Manchester United race into a 3-0 lead.
Superb. We've just spoken about the little bit of skill from Jack Fletcher, and we saw another bit there. Sold the goalkeeper. He just steps away, sees the gap. I mean, the gap is way too big anyway. And just as the defender dives in to try and take the ball off him, he just cuts inside, just here with his right foot. That's brilliant. And he was so unlucky. I think it just came off the bottom of his studs, didn't it? But Chido Obi's there to tidy up. And, I mean, if 2-0 was going to be difficult for Preston to get anything out of, I think this is just getting to the stage now with the dominance of a little bit like Coventry. Not if, it's how many.
Too many Preston players have encroached over the halfway line before the spot kick was taken, so the referee requests that it's retaken. They do exactly the same thing again, but the referee allows it to slide on this occasion.
And the worrying thing for them, Preston, is that they're still...
Well, that's a clear pull of the shirt that's not been given. An opportunity here for Rodriguez Gentile. Ball is out of play for a corner. I wish somebody would explain to me how that's not a free kick on the edge of the penalty area.
I know. They've still got 20 minutes to go until half-time, Preston, so they can't afford to let this get any worse than it already is. And they started quite brightly in the opening 5 or 6 minutes. Up until United scored, you thought, this man here is about to take the corner, Moeni. He put in some decent balls and looked a handful.
Ball's back in. This is turned towards goal. Will Murdoch will happily take it. There is an out ball there to Harry Amass, but Will Murdoch just tucks the ball under his arm, allows the penalty area to clear. Reece Munro, he gets away from his marker again. This time goes over the top, and Victor Musa's running into the penalty area. Musa tries to bring it down on the edge of the box. It's actually pretty good goalkeeping from Stowell. He's closed the distance down as much as he possibly could and given Victor Musa no room to manoeuvre. Ball over the top was pretty straightforward, Ben.
Yeah, it was pretty much too straightforward, really. You know, even at this level of football, a ball like that, it shouldn't end up with a one-on-one on the goalkeeper. And he's got in between the two centre-backs. The goalkeeper did do well. I thought he was still favourite, Victor Musa, if he'd have got something on it. To have maybe flicked it over his head or flicked it round him and ran round the other side.
Maybe that's a good tackle from Jayden Camerson. I just held my breath for a moment as he was careening across the field, but he times it absolutely perfectly. That kind of ball up and over the top is exactly what we've seen Ahmad score for the first team. Just we'll get him to spend 5 minutes with Victor Musa and say, remember, don't watch where the ball is, watch where it's going to bounce.
Yeah.
As Thierry Henry taught us all just a couple of weeks ago. Reece Munro. Back it comes to the goalkeeper, Will Murdoch. But when you're 3-0 up inside half an hour, Ben, it provides you the licence to not have any, you know, rush about doing anything. You can do whatever you want in your own time, can't you? Crossfield ball finds Harry Amass, who's unmarked, who can flick it round the corner to Tyler Fletcher, who is helpfully wearing a bandage around his right hand, which is enabling me to... Oh, in fact, they're both wearing a bandage around the right hand. That's helpful, isn't it?
They did that just to wind you up, I think.
Yeah. In fact, it's not even the Fletchers. So you've got Tyler Fletcher here with a bandage around his right hand, and who's that out on the far side? Oh, it's James Scanlon that's going to go through the middle. Chance here for Scanlon. Looks to get it goalwards. It's a brilliant stop or block from whichever Preston player got there first.
Really good stop. Stowell, I mean, he did well to thwart Victor Musa earlier, but that's a really good stop because he definitely did narrow the angle. You could see what he was trying to do, Scanlon, who's again in that sort of centre-left position. And he just I think, tried to dink it over him, but he didn't have the elevation because the goalkeeper had come out and closed him down. But again, it is a little bit too easy. Him coming in off that left-hand side and causing all sorts of problems. They're so well drilled. They really are. They know how to play the positions, but they also know how to play other positions as well. And that's what makes them so effective and so difficult to mark.
Just to give you the heads up on James Scanlon, who went herring through the middle there. He's got 12 goals in 13 games this season. And that's because he's a master at dealing with the space. So we'll find a way past you. Fletcher looks to go back to the far side, which is Harry Amass. So Harry Amass has got a bandage around one of his hands. So too has Tyler Fletcher. It's confusing me. But it is Tyler rather than Jack that has the wrist bandage on. Preston looking to wriggle free with Stringfellow. Comes up to Wilson. Wilson dispossessed by Jace Fitzgerald. Chido-Obi forces his way through, drives into the penalty area, gets his shot away. Well, that is a fine, fine finish from Chido-Obi. Just forces, bullies, batters his way through, and then finishes brilliantly with his right foot.
Well, I mean, the finish is superb, but from a Preston perspective, I don't think their manager is going to be at all happy. I mean, it's really soft, and he's got 5 players around him there, and he still has got the chance and the ability to be able to just pick where he wants to put it, and he does finish it brilliantly. But there are literally 5 players there, and not one of them makes a challenge, throws the body in, tries to sort of imbalance him. But it's crazy, but a brilliant goal, lovely finish, very, very composed.
And that's 4 inside half an hour for Manchester United. You can see what it means to Adam Lawrence, who applauds his side. Phil Jones sat on the bench there behind Adam Lawrence. He's been working with the academy since retiring from playing. I mean, what an absolutely incredible resource to have at your disposal. Somebody like Phil Jones, with the games that he's played and the international experience that he's got, must make a huge difference.
Understood. Silent until it's up.
I mean, Preston are not a bad team by any stretch. I mean, they can't be, having disposed of Liverpool the way that they did. But some of the decision-making this evening has really astounded me. And they need to make a decision now, because at 4-0, they pretty much know that the game is done and dusted. Not because of anything other than Manchester United are just too dominant for them, but you want to put them under a little bit of pressure.
Acres of space for Harry Amass out on that left-hand side. Dribbles infield, finds Scanlon, gives it back to Amass, but it's well defended in the end from Theo Carroll. Comes back and helps out his back 4. Going to be easily enough picked up again by Manchester United, and forward they come once more. Crossfield ball. I mean, Harry Amass has got all the time in the world to watch that down.
Well, he's playing more like a like a left-sided forward, Harry Amass. But there's no pressure on the ball. I genuinely don't know what Preston's game plan is going to be from here on in, because they've got nothing to lose.
That's brilliant. Through it goes to Fletcher for his second, but no, he has it stolen from his toe by Troy Tarry, who just nips in and takes it away.
Yeah, he just needed to shift it, didn't he? A little bit further onto his favoured foot, really. as he was going through. His first touch wasn't what he would have wanted and gave Troy Terry the chance to come in and nip in front of him.
Forward it comes from Mulwenny. He does pretty well to keep his feet. United win back possession. Some breaking news for you here on MUTV. Some really sad news to bring you this evening. The former Manchester United and Scotland international Denis Law has passed away at the age of 84. More on that in just a moment. Ball's out to the left-hand side here. 237 goals in 404 Manchester United games. Really, really sad news. There is a statement on the Manchester United website that reads, on behalf of the Law family, it's with a heavy heart that we tell you that our father Denis Law has sadly passed away. He fought a tough battle, but finally he is now at peace. We would like to thank everyone who contributed to his well-being and care, past and much more recently. We know how much people supported and loved him, and that love was always appreciated and made the difference. Thank you. This after the terribly sad news that Denis Law has passed away at the age of 84.
He was a lovely man. I had the privilege of meeting him in Malta, and I know from speaking to people around Old Trafford on match days, and obviously people from years gone by that have always probably said that he was their favourite player. He was just so wonderful to watch. And when you think of the likes of him and George Best and Bobby Charlton in the same team, it must have been some spectacle seeing them take to the pitch every week. But yeah, I mean, incredibly sad, and condolences to all the Law family.
Yeah, from everybody here at Manchester United, we would say exactly the same, Ben. All of our thoughts and best wishes going to all of the Law family. He was some footballer, the goal scorer, the original king at Old Trafford.
The king, yeah.
Denis Law, the only man to have 2 statues here at Old Trafford. Ben has already referred to the trinity of Best, Law and Charlton that you can see out on the forecourt, but he also has one on the Stretford End concourse as well. If you're ever in the Stretford End, go and search it out. Meanwhile here we've got a little bit of an attritional battle in midfield. Jack Fletcher told by the referee that he doesn't get another one of those where he flicks the ball away. Declan Rice would have been sent off for that. Picked up by Lescott. Fight here between Munro and Wilson. Munro just eases him out to the left-hand side. It's really good defending from Reece Munro. Stays nice and tight with him, doesn't dive in, allows him to commit, and then forces the ball behind for the corner. Yeah,
he maybe could have made the challenge a little bit earlier, but he was very confident that he was never going to get away from him. Probably thought that right at the death he was going to take it off him.
So left wing corner for Preston's going to be taken by Mulwenny. Drilled in. You've already commented on the size and stature of Clayton Lescott.
Yeah, it's a poor corner.
Very similar to his dad, isn't he? Jolyon. They are, one's a midfielder, obviously, one was an out-and-out centre-half, but you can sort of see the familial resemblance now, I've said it, can't you?
Yeah.
I thought I'd just check on the off chance. Turns out
Glad
that you were right, yeah. When you said to me before, is it any relation? I don't know. Ball in, collected by Will Murdoch well.
But he's going to win his fair share of headers, isn't he? And the way things are going for Preston, you'd think that a set piece is one way of giving them problems.
Acres of space for Victor Musa here, and he's into the penalty area. What can he do with help arriving? Goes near post, it's blocked and behind for a corner.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of space that these Manchester United players are getting is is ridiculous, really. I mean, on this occasion, Brindle gets across and gets his foot out, but that will certainly need addressing. Otherwise, this scoreline is going to get, you know, even more humiliating in the second half. But yeah, the corner. I mean, you know, Lescott is there. He's obviously a very big lad, and the ball doesn't even get past the near post.
Here's a Manchester United corner. This one gets to the back post, where it is met again by Reece Munro. Can't generate the power that he needs to get that on target or trouble the goalkeeper. That's far too easy for Jayden Camerson to run away with that ball too. Preston just looking a little on the leggy side, aren't they, Ben, after conceding 4 in this first half?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're going to be mentally sort of hurt, aren't they, as well as physically getting the run around, because I don't think even they envisaged that they would be 4-0 down by half-time, and if they're not careful, it could be worse. But I mean, 4 is bad enough, but the mistakes that they've made and the fact that they've not really put United under any pressure, they've given the ball away, they've allowed way too much space and time for these players. Oh,
there was a ball right through the middle.
I think Scanlon was in again, was he?
Yeah. But again, you know, Jack Fletcher picks that ball up with 3 white shirts around him and just manages to ghost away from them.
I mean, I thought, because I mentioned it, the way that they set up and sort of making it very difficult to get Tyler Fletcher it was, on the ball. And I thought, well, yeah, that's quite an effective way of doing it, because he wants to get on the ball, he wants to be on the half turn, he wants to get things going, and he wasn't really allowed to. And then the first goal went in and everything just completely went to pot for Preston.
Chido Obi on the corner of the penalty area, one way and then the other, eventually is dispossessed and steps back in to make the challenge a little bit too vigorously, according to the referee.
I'm not so sure. I think it was just a battle of sizes.
Well, that can happen, it can't it? Sort of big man on small man.
Thank you, referee.
Makes it look worse. Ben was pointing aggressively with a pen.
Then it was right on the touchline, and he wanted 10, 12 yards, didn't he, the goalkeeper?
Ben was marching him backwards as well, have no fear. This is with Murdoch. We've got 3 minutes to go until we get to the half-time break. If you're just joining us, just a reminder that we've had some sad news this evening. That Dennis Law, the king of the Stretford End, has passed away at the age of 84. There is a statement on the Manchester United website. I'm sure you'll find all of the information that you need on the Manchester United website and app. More on that at half-time here on MUTV. Jack Fletcher comes back to Reece Munro. United just taking their time here. They know that they are now in the box seat. It's in their power. Get to half-time, regroup and go again. Which is exactly what Preston will be thinking as well. They're now, you know, they'll look at the second half, won't they? It'll be don't lose the second half in the same way.
Well, yeah.
Jack Fletcher. Well, that's fallen kindly to Scanlon, who's got a little bit of space. Scanlon hits it straight at the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's clever from James Scanlon. He read exactly the way the defender was going to go.
Well, when he doesn't check his shoulder, and Camerson gets this to Musa. Fletcher. Back it comes, Reece Munro to Daniel Armour. Back to the feet of the captain, Reece Munro. Camerson. Down the line it goes to Jack Fletcher. Fletcher sends it out to Harry Amas. Bit of skill from Amas to wriggle free. Fitzgerald. Manchester United just able to knock it round with ease. Just a minute of added time at the end of the first half. Scanlon picks it up again, and that will be a free kick. Quite easy for the referee to spot that one on James Scanlon. Well, Manchester United with an opportunity from a set piece right at the end of the first half. Be a couple of players that are lining themselves up for this one. Whether it will be the left foot of Jack Fletcher, or more likely for me the right foot of Jace Fitzgerald, I don't know. United do have something of a free kick specialist in the squad, but he is on the bench, Jim Thwaites. May have to wait for the second half before we can see what he's capable of doing from a dead ball situation.
Well, this will definitely be the last action of this half. Is it going to stay at 4, or will somebody make it 5?
Jace Fitzgerald on the left of your picture. Jack Fletcher standing over this too. It will be Jace Fitzgerald who hits it directly into the wall. Oh, it's not been dealt with though, and the goalkeeper dives on top of it. It's going to be one back by United inside the penalty area. There's all sorts of pinball around the box. The clearance hits Victor Musa. The referee says that's enough of that. And Manchester United lead by 4-0. Chido Obi at the double. It was Jack Fletcher that opened the scoring. Lovely ball through from Chido Obi to pick out Scanlon. Scanlon's square ball finished off by Jack Fletcher from... We are back underway in the second half. Manchester United leading Preston North End by 4-0 in the FA Youth Cup, and a pretty straightforward run through the first 45 minutes. A couple of things just to keep an eye on. Chido Obi has got 2 goals, one with his left foot, one with his right foot. If he manages to score a header, that's a perfect hat-trick in an FA Youth Cup game, and we'll be keeping a beady eye out to see whether or not he can apply the finishing touch with his head. Chido Obi, before we get to the game, at the end of the game, no changes for either side as we start the second half. So Manchester United with Murdoch, Amas, Armour, Monroe and Camerson, the back 5. Fletcher holds midfield, Tyler variety. James Scanlon on the left, Victor Musa on the right, Jack Fletcher and Jace Fitzgerald behind Chido Obi, who's up front for Manchester United. Well, there has been a change. I lied to you. The change is Aidan Garrigan, who has left the field, and Aidan Garrigan has been replaced by Ed Nolan. So just the one change as Preston try and get themselves back into contention, and it is a long way back, Ben.
It is. I mean, I'd like to think that maybe Aidan Garrigan had a problem, because for me it would be unfair for him to be singled out as somebody that needed to be replaced because of performing well below standard. I would say that the coach has turned around to him and said, listen, you're not going to win this game, so I want to see each and every one of you that started the first half to start the second and give me something, give me some fight, give me some passion, give me some pride, because other than that he would have been changing 5 or 6 of them. I might be wrong, I often am.
Chance here for Preston from the edge of the penalty area. United having to do a little bit of defending as they try and get themselves back into it. Flicked away, out for a throw-in. Brought down by Mulwenny. Mawene, who was dangerous against Liverpool in the last round, bends this one towards goal but can't squeeze it on target.
I don't think there was enough bend on it, was that? But at least they have shown a little bit in these opening couple of minutes, but then they did that in the first half and something went against them and they just seemed to cave. He's looking for some character.
Monroe. Musa fights well to get himself out of a sticky situation. Monroe takes over. Finds a little bit of a gap up to Chido Obi. Obi dispossessed. Oh, that's been given away. Chance here. There is one back for Preston. Well, first blood in the second half goes to Felipe Rodriguez Gentile, who manages to latch onto the end of it, fires home to make it United 4, Preston 1.
Yeah, it's a good finish, but I think it's pretty obvious that Dan Armour knows that he's got to do better there. He gets himself into a decent position. He's just got to touch the ball back. I don't know, I think he's trying to flick the ball with the outside of his left foot back towards Reece Monroe, and he gets it all wrong. Just do the basics well. I'm sure Adam Lawrence would have wanted them to keep doing what they've been doing, and that was just a little bit of complacency for me. It's just going to go straight back to the keeper for him to clear his lines. But it's a good finish.
Foul's been given away by Manchester United right in front of the referee, who gives the free kick to the visitors. Mawene standing over this free kick. Well, United will want to get back onto any sort of a stable base as quickly as they possibly can. It's Preston, though, that are trying to work this into the penalty area. The clearance is going to come United's way, though, and a real opportunity here down the left-hand side. Harry Amas making up incredible ground, and he's into the penalty area. Harry Amas takes it on, takes his shot. Brilliant stop from Stahl, who just makes himself big. But the ground that Harry Amas managed to cover there to get himself up and with the attack was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's a brilliant counter-attack, isn't it? From the little flick on the edge of the box to set Jack Fletcher going, then he opens his legs. If you're going to be hypercritical, maybe he could have passed it a little bit sooner, just to give Harry Amas the opportunity to get the ball out of his feet and a little bit more time for him to pick his spot. But, like I said, you're being ultra-critical there, because it's a brilliant break from Jack Fletcher and wonderful desire to get there from Harry Amas as well. And well done to the Preston goalkeeper. It's not the first time he's come out and narrowed an angle and made a decent save.
Definitely. So, corner for Manchester United here in the FA Youth Cup 4th round at the Lee Sports Village. Delivery from Fitzgerald. It's well claimed by Stahl, who gets there ahead of everybody. Thinks he might have the opportunity to get his team on the front foot as well here. That's a huge throw from the goalkeeper, and all of a sudden Preston are up to the edge of the penalty area. Harry Amas sticks out a hopeful toe, manages to make some connection, and it should be cleared away by Reece Monroe. Free kick given by the referee for a little pull on Victor Musa. Just a little bit more open than Manchester United will want in the opening stages of the second half.
Yeah. And Preston have got one rung on the ladder.
Fletcher goes back to Armour. Back to Tyler Fletcher. Fitzgerald, first time ball back to Daniel Armour. United, again, just taking their time, taking the sting out of Preston. Clip forward, brought down by Chido Obi. James Scanlon I think that's a foul on Scanlon. I think the referee may well issue the first yellow card of the game. No, he's decided to keep his cards in his pocket, and I think the Preston defender can count themselves a little fortunate.
Yeah, I just don't think it would have been in keeping with the type of game that it's been. I don't think that he's come close, but it was certainly a clever bit of skill from Scanlon, and you wouldn't have blamed the referee if he'd have produced a card there, but good bit of skill.
Yeah, I agree. I think the only reason that I said it was that if Scanlon isn't brought down there, he's
through.
He's through.
Well, yeah. No, it's a good. Well, we don't like seeing cards issued, do it?
James Scanlon is going to have a go. Just plenty of whip on that. Just a bit too much loft. One club too many from James Scanlon. For those that like a golfing reference. Coaching duo keeping an eye on the situation for Preston. Andy Fensom and John Welsh. Hard to spot on the TV fixtures, but Harry Robinson, who is down at pitch side, has told us that United have come back out with black armbands on because of the news that we've just had about Dennis Law. Passed away at the age of 84 years old. That's a good tackle from Reece Munro.
Yeah, solid. In quickly, decisive.
And comes away with the ball too. Just a little scrappy as Manchester United try and find their way back into the game. Referee just having a little conversation here. Yeah, we've got a potential injury to Theo Morweni. He's come over and he's checked him out, but this was the tackle that came in from Reece Munro. It was Morweni that was on the receiving end of it. I don't know exactly what he's done.
It's not an impact injury, is it? I wouldn't have thought so anyway. The fact that he's
stretching that toe.
Looks like a maybe lower leg muscle, calf or Achilles maybe. I can't see it being cramp at this early stage in the proceedings.
Not sure. You know, you see that treatment, don't you, where the toe is pushed back towards the knee, and that's normally if you've got cramp. You wouldn't do that if there was a sprain or a strain, would you? There's Darren Fletcher watching his two sons playing tonight.
Well, he'll be impressed.
Yeah, done well.
I'm pretty sure he'll be impressed, he'll be proud.
Theo Morweni is not going to be able to continue.
No.
So off the field he comes, going to be replaced by Charlie Forward. There's another golfing reference for you. No, I'm joking. That's his name, Charlie Forward. United have possession back. Well, Murdoch comes out to Daniel Armour. Armour gets it back and he's in a little bit of space. Maybe he can try and make up some ground here. Goes into midfield to find Tyler Fletcher. That's a loose pass though from Tyler Fletcher, and Jace Fitzgerald can't get there. Real opportunity again for Preston. Can it be turned home? Brilliant challenge. Still needs saving, can't be stopped. And it's 4-2, and all of a sudden nerves creeping in, because once again Preston have scored and Manchester United see the deficit down to 2. Manchester United 4, Preston 2.
Well, it was loose from Jace Fitzgerald, wasn't it? And I mean, it wasn't a bad ball that he pulled across in the first place, but I tell you what, he was in. Again, the goal scorer, Rodriguez Gentile. You watch his movement here. I'm not quite sure how Theo Carroll doesn't turn it in, but he whips it in again. He gets in front of Jace Fitzgerald, who doesn't react, and he turns and thrashes it home. For him to be sitting on a hat-trick, but more so that Preston have now decided that the first half wasn't acceptable at all, and they want to look at make it look more respectable, and they're doing that. And it's just giving United a bit of food for thought, because they haven't really, apart from that one counter-attack, they haven't really started in this second half, and it's nearly 15 minutes old.
Fitzgerald to Fletcher. Helped on by Camerson to Musa. Musa keeps hold of the ball. Finds Tyler Fletcher. Back it goes to Reece Munro. Concern here for United, of course, is that, you know, a 4-goal lead is now down to a 2-goal lead, and it's Preston that have the momentum at the beginning of the second half. As James Scanlon has the ball taken off his toe.
I was 100% that this was not the team that came out in white in the first half was a lot better than they showed, and United, for all the dominance with the possession, I mean, you see them week in, week out, Liam, you know that they can play some absolutely scintillating stuff, but they didn't need to in the first half because they weren't being challenged at all. And they've obviously had a bit of a rocket at half-time, Preston. They've come out, they've scored 2 goals, and for these opening, 14, 15 minutes, they have been the better side in this second half so far.
Hard to disagree with that assessment from Ben Thornley. Harry Amass. He thinks about that ball down the left-hand side, doesn't he? And then decides that he doesn't want to play it. So the ball comes back across.
And the other thing, sorry
Liam.
No, the other thing that will displease Adam Lawrence, is the fact that both the goals were created because of mistakes from Manchester United. First one by Dan Armour, and the second one by Jace Fitzgerald on 2 counts. Losing the ball and then not reacting when the ball comes back. So that's going to disappoint him, because that's just a lack of concentration.
Was it Jace Fitzgerald, or was it Tyler Fletcher who played the short pass to Jace Fitzgerald?
Sorry, it was Tyler Fletcher who played the short pass, and he was in on it, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Rodriguez Gentile, but then he didn't react when he nipped back in front of him in the 6-yard box. I apologise, it wasn't 2 counts.
I was just checking that we were on the same page.
Yeah. The bottom line being, though, that there were mistakes by Manchester United that they didn't look like making in the first half at all. And
weren't forced into making either. And I think that's what Preston have done slightly better in this second period, is that they've forced the turnovers. And there's another opportunity, shot from distance. So that was always speculative at best. We'll go with hopelessly optimistic, shall we? Will Murdoch can grab it. Manchester United have possession back. You can see Amir Ibrahimov is warming up for United. He's also stripped off now on the edge of the technical area. We will see the first Manchester United change in the not too distant. That's a positive touch from Harry Amass. What a wicked cross that is too. Into the penalty area, is smuggled behind. Manchester United have a corner.
Yeah, he'll get forward, won't he, at every opportunity, and that's a brilliant ball. It really is. He's begging for somebody coming in off that right-hand side to just head it home.
It's just too far in front of James Scanlon, isn't it? Jack Fletcher will deliver. Whipped in, loose inside the penalty area. And Thornley made an involuntary noise as that came swinging through the 18-yard box.
I thought he was getting on the end of it.
Yeah,
it's a great ball.
That's well done from Jace Fitzgerald.
That's a foul.
Yeah, he wants the 1-2. The referee's not going to give it, and Jace Fitzgerald can't get there because of the foul. It's a little on the frustrating side if you're a Manchester United player, but they fight hard, win the ball back, and it's with Harry Amass. Amir Ibrahimov has had a great season for Manchester United so far too. He'll be brim full of confidence. Fletcher, Jack Fletcher, back and having to deal with the attentions of Charlie Forward. Just gets crowded out of it in the end. And there's a little bit of indecision here in the penalty area. Shot comes in, it's a brilliant stop from Will Murdoch. Just had to hold his ground, and he manages to keep hold of the ball. But Manchester United, again, just causing a couple of problems for themselves, Ben.
Yeah, he does brilliantly in that far corner, Jack Fletcher. He cripes Charlie forward, and just as you think that he's going to clear it, he gets closed down, and straight away it's a really good save, you know, from Will Murdoch. It really is. It's a super save. Because they come back to within one with, you know, half an hour to go, and that is really unnerving.
Victor Musa is the player to make way. Amir Ibrahimov is on to replace him. Well, he is dynamic, is Ibrahimov. Has played England youth team football this season. Has 5 goals from his 10 under-18s Premier League appearances and a couple of assists as well.
I enjoy watching this young man, I do. I think he's very talented. Arguably unlucky not to be in the starting 11. But he is a talented footballer.
Well, he was thinking about a little run forward there, wasn't he? Ibrahimov can't be found. Free kick has actually been given to Preston. I didn't actually spot what that was for.
It was just a late challenge, wasn't it? Wasn't much in it. He was just slightly late.
Well, that's a little on the aimless side. Nobody's getting on the end of that one. Manchester United gratefully accept possession of the football back. Scanlon. United will just want to get a little bit of rhythm back in their play, where they move the ball around so brilliantly well at stages. They haven't managed to do that in the second half so far. Harry Amas. Jace Fitzgerald to Tyler Fletcher. Camerson. Munro. Tyler Fletcher just backs away to the left wing to try and give an option to Daniel Armour. Decisions just being taken away from Reece Munro, who has just felt something there, hasn't he? I did think that he moved in an uncomfortable manner as he went to kick the ball, and he's just feeling that right leg ever so slightly. Yeah, he's not very comfortable at all. The captain, is going to want to try and run this off. Camerson drags his man to the ground, taken quickly by Preston. Oh, what a stop that is from Will Murdoch. Pops it back out. Brilliant save again from Murdoch. Can it be cleared off the line? It can by Reece Munro. Oh, Manchester United living dangerously, but the goalkeeper, Will Murdoch, coming to the rescue. 2 brilliant stops from him.
Yeah, super save, especially the first one. Full length.
United go in the opposite direction. Chido Obi into the penalty area. Going to get his shot away. Too close to the goalkeeper, Stowell.
No, they got on with it quickly, didn't they? Even though it was in close proximity to the area for a shot, they just got on it, took United by surprise, but fortunately not the goalkeeper or Reece Munro, who got back to help out on the line, otherwise that would have gone in.
Who is still struggling a little, Reece Munro. That stop's brilliant,
yeah,
isn't it?
It's a really good save.
And he gets 2 hands to that one too, then loses his footing. That's quite long at the Lee Sports Village.
I'll tell you what, if one of the Preston players had done exactly what Reece Munro did, then he might have struggled to have cleared that. But the fact that he was there was enough.
Header up in the air. Out comes Murdoch. Reece Munro now sat on the turf. There is something bothering him, isn't there, with that right ankle. Saw the way that he moved as he was on the edge of the centre circle, and immediately thought to myself, that looks like it may have hurt. Yeah, I think we're going to have to get a little bit of treatment. United may well have to consider a change here. They have got options on the bench if they need them. Probably be Albert Mills or Dante Plunkett that comes on to, if he did have to leave the field of play. This is Reece Munro. So it gives the opportunity for some instructions to be given from both sides. I can hear Adam Lawrence's big booming South London voice across the Lee Sports Village. Just a little bit concerning for the Manchester United captain. Yeah,
he certainly won't be anywhere near as happy with the second half performance as he was with the first. They have allowed Preston to creep back into this, and okay, well, it's 4-2 and a 2-goal advantage, and you always feel as though Manchester United have got that level of quality where they can turn the ball over quickly and go on the counter, or put a really good move together, and one more goal at 4-2 would put Preston to bed at this stage. But one more goal for Preston and things would get very hairy. There's no two ways about it.
So Manchester United back in action Sunday the 19th of January. Big game this one. Matchday live from 12:55. Game will be underway from 2 o'clock on Sunday. We will bring you all of the action and, of course, all of the build-up on the way to the action on Sunday afternoon. Another big test, I think, for United. That slightly different again from the Southampton test, different again from the Anfield test and the Emirates test. This one just a little bit more tricky potentially for United to navigate.
It is. I mean, it's a team that for the last few years United have really struggled. I think, have we lost 6 out of the last 7 to Brighton?
I've not done my match notes yet.
Well, I suggest you get on with it.
No,
but they are definitely one of our bogey sides.
Yeah, I agree.
They're one of our bogey sides. They're a very good footballing team, and yeah, it's a must that we continue this 2025 run going of being unbeaten and winning matches.
Jack Fletcher is going in the referee's notebook here for that foul. I did think there was a push before that, but
yeah, there was.
The referee deciding that this challenge from Jack Fletcher is worthy of the first yellow card of the game.
Yeah, I don't think you can argue too much with that. Stops an attack from developing cynically.
4-2, 20 minutes to go. Manchester United, though, could find themselves slightly worse off than the 4-2 because, I mean, Reece Munro has headed one off the line. We've had a couple of decent stops, haven't we, from Will Murdoch. Armour goes back to Murdoch.
I think the other thing that it has done as well is this sort of resurgence from Preston, is that United haven't really created anything clear-cut either.
Ball forward from Reece Munro, just a little inaccurate, and it allows Preston to come back in the opposite direction. Riamas makes the tackle. I
thought there was a case that he might have played that off a Preston foot.
Chido Obi closing down quickly. Afterburners went on there from Chido Obi. It's going to be another Preston throw. Just a hint of nervousness. United know that if they find anywhere near the level that we know they're capable of, this game will be out of sight. That's a very soft-looking free kick given by the referee. Max Wilson, the man who was fouled.
I didn't even think that was a foul. But Dan Armour got up. He obviously knew he'd committed it. I thought he'd won the ball.
I certainly didn't think there was enough in it for the free kick. I was with you. But we're a bit old school, aren't we? You more than me. Armour finds Obi. Obi does well to just keep the ball away from Peter Critchley. Fletcher. Camerson. It comes to Monroe. Just keeping an eye on Reece Monroe. Seems to be moving a little better, Ben.
Yeah. The acid test will be his next tackle, won't it? It's obviously been an impact injury on that right ankle. Oh, he's got a card as well, Jace Fitzgerald.
I think that's going to be for kicking the ball away from Jace Fitzgerald. I don't think it was for the foul. There's not an awful lot in this. But I think maybe here. There. I think that's probably what he's been booked for.
Okay, well, I'm hoping it was for that and not for the foul, because it wasn't a foul. He actually took the ball off him. He was just stronger in the challenge.
Preston going to try and use this as an opportunity to pump one towards the penalty area. Clayton Lescott deep in conversation with the referee, who he towers over. He's a full head taller than the referee.
Like me and you when we're doing team news.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't spotted that, have a watch on Sunday. It's brilliant. Might bring Ben a box this week. Ball is lifted into the penalty area, punched away by Will Murdoch, not dealt with entirely by Manchester United. It's going to be a goal kick. Murdoch is all right. He's finding his way back to his feet. Came absolutely flying out there, didn't he, the Manchester United goalkeeper?
When you make decisions, you've got to come, and he did exactly that. He didn't get a lot on it, but he won a free kick for his troubles. You can't be indecisive.
Well, certainly committed.
He's played well in the second half, the goalkeeper. I can't say he played well in the first half because he didn't have anything to do. But in the second half, he's been called upon 2 or 3 times and he's done really well.
We've seen him do that this season. He has been an important part of that goalkeeping unit. Him and Cameron Byrne-Hughes have been great. Both will be involved for the under-18s between now and the end of the season. It's not just a one goalkeeper team. Preston, though, that are currently giving Manchester United a tough time. Jace Fitzgerald turns himself into trouble, then wins possession back, goes round the outside. Jace Fitzgerald does really well, now needs a runner. Chido Obi wanted it into the space in front of him, and unfortunately Fitzgerald couldn't deliver.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of a breakdown, wasn't it? He thought he may have been coming short and he went long, and he did really well to wriggle out. Great, solid in the tackle, and then a nice bit of skill on the touchline.
It's a good cross too. Comes out to Lescott, who has a shy from distance. High wide and not so handsome. Oh, who's gone in the referee's notebook there?
I'm not sure, but he is booking somebody, isn't he? That is for sure. Was it Ibrahimov? No?
I don't know who he's booked there.
I can only see it being for back chat.
Ibrahimov goes in the book. Well spotted, Ben. Or a good guess.
But I've no idea what for. Yeah.
Third Manchester United player to go in the referee's notebook. Preston on the march again down the right-hand side. Jim Thwaites being prepared by Manchester United out on that far side. Going to be a long throw. It's bouncing around. Manchester United are going to get it clear. Chido Obi's going to try and get this out towards Scanlon. Scanlon, very brave where he puts his head there, but he does come away with the ball. Now Manchester United on a brilliant counter-attack. Across it comes to Ibrahimov. Ibrahimov's going to give this to Fletcher. Fletcher in the penalty area, left-footed. Blocked. Cross comes back in towards Chidowobi, back post, chance. And it's wide, and James Scanlon knows that that was a real opportunity to reinstall a 3-goal advantage.
Brilliant from James Scanlon. I have to say, it really was. But when he did come inside and square now, what I don't understand is why Jack Fletcher wasn't already on his bike. And by that time, the defenders have got across. If he'd have carried on going, Ibrahimov could have slipped him in earlier, and he would have had a much better opportunity and much bigger sight of the goal.
Scorer of the opening goal, Jack Fletcher. That is his last action. He leaves the field, is replaced by Jim Thwaites.
Having said that, he's had a really good game.
He has been brilliant.
Yeah, really good game. Very influential.
Just able to find a bit of space, isn't he, when nobody else is. Tyler remains on the field. Manchester United with some fresh legs ahead of him. Sorry, Ben.
No, it's okay. I'm just saying he's an elegant footballer when he gets into full flight running with the ball. It just looks effortless, but nobody can get anywhere near him.
Jim Thwaites is herring around here, but the ball forward is another dangerous one. Monroe trying to deal with it. Going to go out of play for a goal kick. Monroe now goes down outside the field of play.
Oh.
Drags himself back on again, just to make sure the game can't continue. I don't know exactly what's wrong with Reece Monroe, but he's struggling with something.
Well, that might be cramp. You are getting into the sort of district now where it does start to take its toll on the muscles.
If that is cramp and there's 4 Preston players right there, somebody help him out. Somebody help him out. Come on. You know what it feels like. You know how horrible it is.
Yeah, it is horrible, yeah.
Maybe I'm too soft, but I'd have been helping. Am I too soft, Ben?
No, not at all. I would have done the same. I would have done the same.
10 minutes to go. United still with a 2-goal advantage. Hubi can't get there. Lescott more influential in this second period. Harry Amas makes an error. Ball comes back into the middle. It's loose. Well, Manchester United conspire to get that ball back to the goalkeeper, Will Murdoch, off the shin of Daniel Armour.
Yeah. He just maybe might have been better taking it with his chest, or just even heading it straight back to Will Murdoch. Again, just a few things that have crept in this second half that were nowhere near close to happening in the first. They were so dominant, but the early goal that Preston got, and then a second, they've just made some uncharacteristic mistakes.
Scanlon. Camerson. Looks like Albert Mills is going to be the player on to replace Reece Monroe. Yeah, so the captain, Reece Monroe, makes way. Albert Mills on to replace him. That is a like-for-like change for Manchester United, centre-half for centre-half. Tall, rangy, good in the air, strong in the challenge, Albert Mills. Maybe he doesn't quite have the pace of Reece Monroe, as we saw in the first half when he went on that lung-busting run from one end of the field to the other. But then again, it looks like he's wearing black boots, so he goes up in my estimation for that. Ball forward, but is nowhere near a red shirt, so Preston can safely bring it down. Managed to play through the Manchester United press as well. Amas steps in, makes the challenge, keeps it in play too, then has to slide in, win it again. Makes the block to win it for the 3rd time. Just a little bit of needle from Clayton Lescott. We've seen that in a couple of challenges in the last few minutes. Referee was having a little word before. Albert Mills is going to be penalised for this one, as he's barged out of the way. Another free kick for Preston. Another Preston goal here would be a very nervous closing 5 minutes.
Yes, it would. It would. And things like that from Albert Mills are not going to help. Facing away, don't need to bundle into the back of him.
Here is the delivery. Oh, it is a dangerous one. It's poked just wide. Well, goodness me, what a delivery into the penalty area that was. And Max Wilson tried absolutely everything to get a touch on the end of it. I'm not sure whether I don't think he got anything on it, and if he did, he pushes it wide.
Well, it's a brilliant ball from Johnny Brindle. Whipped into a great area, and they beat the offside trap, no question. Does he go for it with his wrong foot? That's the thing. Got to go for it with his left foot, hasn't he? Into the far corner, volley it back across the goalkeeper.
Increase your chances, definitely.
Yeah. But it's a super ball.
United survive. Well, for whatever reason, Manchester United haven't quite found the way that they normally play to be as easy as they normally find it, and it is Preston that are still growing into this one. Cross comes in. There was just a little grab at the arm there from Albert Mills as well that is dangerous when you're inside the 18-yard box. United are going to get away with it. Obi finds Fletcher. Fletcher starts up the engines, looks for that ball to James Scanlon. Can't complete the pass. The ball goes back to the goalkeeper, Stowell.
Just wondering whether it could have been played a fraction earlier. Scanlon was in.
Collisions in the centre circle. Referee says it was a foul, but he's going to allow play on to Preston. Cleared away. Obi steps in.
That's a good tackle, that.
I think he's won the ball.
Well, he has won the ball. Ball bounces up. He comes round from the side. He gets his heel on the ball, and
I think he's got the ball there.
anyway, another bit of rising damp there.
Yeah. Fatigue starting to set in.
Yeah, will do. They've put a fair bit into this second half, and they've definitely answered the rallying cries of the manager at half-time, the Preston players. I think they are going to come up a little bit short, but it's nowhere near as comprehensive a victory for Manchester United that I thought it might have been after the first half hour of this game. And it's just given them a little bit of a taste that they can't afford to make mistakes. They can't afford to just lose their concentration a little bit. And both Preston's goals were down to that.
Just been they've not quite got themselves going, have they, United, in the second half?
No.
I don't know whether that's because Preston haven't allowed it because of the way that they've changed, or whether it just hasn't quite clicked into place. Sure that Peter Critchley here, he's going to have that leg stretched off and he's going to be absolutely fine, but anybody that's woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning with, a hamstring that's locked up through cramp will know how difficult it is as you're trying to hobble to the bathroom in the pitch black, avoiding the Lego. It's a nightmare. Must have been a bad one. He's limping. Oh, he's actually going to make way. So Peter Critchley is going to be unable to continue. Michael Ayodele is coming onto the field to replace him. Late change. Another opportunity for Johnny Brindle to put a ball into the penalty area. Last one was absolutely lethal. Similar again here, flicked on. It's claimed by Will Murdoch. He's a dangerous weapon in the Arsenal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's another good ball. From a much more difficult angle, actually, for a free kick, but he makes a really good job of that.
Clayton Lescott again just being a little bit of a nuisance there as Will Murdoch comes down with the ball. It's a little flick out at the goalkeeper. Offside goes up against Chido Obi. 2 minutes to go, plus stoppages. Given away, though. Well, James Scanlon, still with plenty of running left in his legs, cuts in field, has options in the middle, looks to work it through. Thwaites' effort comes out to Ibragimov. Ibragimov evades a couple of challenges, looks to square it away, but can't do so. Pops back out to Ibragimov, who lurches in. Oh, referee's going to give the penalty. Ibragimov trying to reach it, goes down under the challenge. Referee points to the penalty spot, and a chance for Manchester United to seal this one, finish it off, and go home through to the next round of the FA Youth Cup.
No, he's not really got himself involved in the game here, but this is why I like him. He's got such quick feet, skips away, and yes, I know that Preston are fatigued now, but he's in on this ball, and that's not a penalty. That's not a penalty. The referee, I'm not saying that he's conned him, but the Preston player has knocked the ball, and he certainly touched the ball, and Ibragimov has just fallen over his legs, and the referee's seen him go sprawling, and he's given an instant decision. I don't think that's a penalty, is it? Come on. We'll take it all day, but it's a bit of an injustice, that.
The referee's given it. It is therefore a penalty.
Yeah. Well,
I'm surprised that it's not Chido Obi that's going to go from the penalty spot, though. It is Amir Ibragimov who steps up, dinks it goalwards.
Brilliant.
That's a really cheeky penalty from Amir Ibragimov. Gives Manchester United a 5-2 lead. Game, set and match. Manchester United through to the next round of the FA Youth Cup.
Well, that is a really clever penalty. I'm looking at where it went in as well. It was only just underneath the crossbar, but they do look brilliant. And if you've got the guile and the nerve to be able to take a penalty like that, then that's the way to do it. Superb.
That is some intestinal fortitude, by the way, from 12 yards. Two changes for United. First change is going to be Jace Fitzgerald. And Fitzgerald is going to be replaced by James Bailey. Second change for Manchester United is going to see Louis Bradbury onto the field. We'll find out who he's coming on for in just a moment. It will be Chido Obi who makes way. And that is also a like-for-like change. Bradbury is a centre forward, and he's going to get a couple of minutes run out here. While we wait for this substitution, just a reminder of that sad news that we had a little bit earlier. More information for you on the Manchester United website now, but at the age of 84, we have lost one of Manchester United's great strikers, Dennis Law, passing away at the age of 84. Again, you can watch the tributes and the videos of Dennis Law and his life and career on the Manchester United website now. 6 minutes of time added on at the end, and we're through a minute and a half of those, so 4.5 left to go. United will now just see this out, you would have thought, Ben.
Yeah, they were. We said earlier, didn't we? A fifth goal for Manchester United would seal it for them. If the seventh goal had been scored by Preston, then it would have been a little bit more of a nervy finish, but I think overall they definitely deserved it, purely and simply because of their first half performance. They were so dominant and they were clinical.
They've done just enough defensively in the second half for it not to be an issue, and they've had to rely on Will Murdoch on a couple of occasions, but everybody needs to play their part.
And it was a clever penalty. It wasn't a penalty, but the fact that the referee had given it meant that it still had to be converted, and it was brilliantly done.
Yeah, Ibragimov does very well. Cheeky, but brilliant. Bouncing ball comes to the edge of the penalty area. Foul, says the referee, on the Preston player. Again, it feels like a little bit of a soft one. Ball's out of play. United throwing on that far side.
When you are highlighting week in, week out, when we watch games for Manchester United in the Premier League and some of the really terrible refereeing decisions and performances that we've seen, I actually think that the referee's been really good this evening. I don't think he's got hardly anything wrong. A couple of soft decisions that he's given for both sides, but other than that,
it's been consistent.
I think he's been consistent. He's been so okay.
Even if the decisions have been, even if they've looked a little soft, it's been for both teams. Yeah. It's not been one side. Yellow card out of the pocket from the referee. Feels like that's probably for a Preston player, but didn't see exactly who it was for because I was talking to Ben. Hamas finds Bailey. Scanlon. Strong from James Scanlon. Slides it into Bradbury, who has a go. Drills it into the side netting. That's what you want from your centre forward. Takes it in stride, turns, fires it goalwards.
Yeah. First touch takes it away. Didn't really have the angle, did it, from where he was?
Daniel Armour steps in. Jim Thwaites wins the ball back, but the referee says he's done so unfairly.
He was already going down, wasn't he? Is it Max Wilson? No, it's not, is it?
No, it's a double cramp, one in each leg.
You watch when he goes towards the ball. Here.
Yeah, he's cramped up. He's cramped up almost immediately, hasn't he?
I know exactly how he feels. Theo Carroll it was.
There's a lot of running tonight for Theo Carroll. As soon as one locked up as well, he tried to compensate with the next one, and that one went as well.
The referee just felt sorry for him.
Me,
just felt sorry for him.
Got to ground like a scarecrow. Both legs are rock solid. Goodness me. It's a good run from James Scanlon, and he's got this through to James Bailey. Bailey takes a brilliant touch in the penalty area to evade the goalkeeper. Pulls it back to Scanlon, takes a touch, fires it goalwards, lifted up and over the top towards Ibrahimov. Ibrahimov can't bring it under control. It's out of play. Will be a goal kick.
Yeah. And we're getting towards the last action of this half as well. A very satisfactory evening. Certainly an extremely good first half, so dominant. Second half, he'll be slightly more disappointed, but it's a convincing win against a team that didn't really take part in the first half, but certainly improved after the break and gave United a bit to think about. But now they can think about who they're going to face in the 5th round of this competition.
Quarter-finals next for Manchester United.
Is it?
I think this is the round of 16, isn't it? Yeah. So next one will be the round of 8.
So even though this is the 4th round, there's still only 32 teams in it?
I think so.
Ah, right, OK. It's not usual.
Ball up and over the top. I'm sure I've just seen somewhere that it is the 16th finals. Header comes in over the top, which would make the next round the quarterfinals. No, it wouldn't. Anyway, don't matter. They're through to the next round.
They're in the next round.
You need your microphone, Ben. You can't stop yet. I know we've played 40 seconds over the stoppage time. You've still got a job to do. Don't rock back and go job done just yet. It's where you get conceded on for not paying attention.
The job's done on the pitch anyway, sorry.
Give you an idea, Ben had put his mic down, he just rocked back on his chair. He was like, yeah, that'll do, 5-2, job done. I've got nothing left to do here. I'll leave you on your own. Full-time whistle goes. Manchester United have beaten Preston North End by 5 goals to 2 in the 4th round of the FA Youth Cup. all of the work really done for Manchester United in the first 45 minutes. Jack Fletcher, Reece Munro and 2 from Chido Obi, giving Manchester United a 4-0 lead at the break. 2 goals from Felipe Rodriguez Gentile at the beginning of the second half for Preston made life a little bit interesting, but Amir Ibrahimov from the penalty spot making sure that Manchester United progress in this famous old competition. At full time, Manchester United 5, Preston North End 2.